back to the Daily Grind. Thanks for checking out the channel. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back pickle biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full time.
MMA.
Cris Cyborg has accepted the apology of the Jackson Wink photographer, but only on one condition. Now, I'm going to make this video as quick as possible. You guys know we already covered this topic yesterday, but now that Cris Cyborg has accepted the apology, I've just got to point out one thing and then we're done with this topic. Alright, she said, I accept the apology and hope Dana White and the UFC listen to my request to no longer grant you a credential to any UFC events. You were unprofessional, and if you photographed any other professional sports such as the WNBA, you would lose access to work those events. With so many photographers able to remain professional at events, you do not deserve their space in the company, said Cyborg about the recent photographer Mark Aragon's Instagram apology. You know, and the apology came out and said, yes, I do apologize. I understand I'm the most hated photographer in the world, but this is why it happened. And he went on to explain that he heard Cris Cyborg allegedly calling Holly Holm a bitch on the team bus and laughing at the fact that she beat Cyborg up. So even though, you know, that's no excuse for calling Cris Cyborg a man, he did apologize. Now, the only thing that stood out, the main thing that stood out in Cris Cyborg accepting this apology is she didn't she didn't deny, like, hey, I wasn't on the fucking team bus laughing and at Holly Holm and she, I guess if it didn't happen, you don't have to deny it, but it just seems like that would have really helped as far as in my head. If this guy is saying he said this to you because you were being disrespectful to Holly Holm, when you come out and accept his apology, say, I accept his apology, but, you know, and this is just what I'm saying, you know, I accept his apology, but what he said is not true. Or I guess if what he said was not true, you don't even accept his apology, right? You know, because if this guy was completely lying and said, hey, I called her a man because I heard her fucking disrespecting one of my best friends. You know, I'm a huge fan and supporter of Holly Holm, and I heard Holly Holm being called a bitch and being disrespected on the bus. You know, so that's why I did this. So it's weird that she didn't come out and deny that and say, hey, I didn't fucking say that about Holly Holm, so there's no reason for you to say that. She just accepted the apology and said, I want this guy fired, pretty much, or blackballed. And as far as that goes, does this guy have a history of this? Or are we just gonna fire him because, you know, it's his first offense and, you know, you're just upset? Like, I don't know about firing people on the first offense, especially if they're just like a photographer. I don't know, it's just sticky waters with me. I do understand what he did was unprofessional, and he's hired by Jackson Wink, and so you guys say, like, Jackson Wink, he represents Jackson Wink, even though I'm not rocking with that. I understand your argument. I just don't fucking agree, because, so what are you saying? If a Jackson Wink fighter gets caught on cocaine or hits a car, does a hit and run, and it's on a pregnant lady, or a Jackson Wink member gets caught with steroids or something, or does that go on the entire fucking organization? Do we say, oh, sorry, we want Jackson Wink to issue an apology because steroids are bad for the sport? Or do we want Jackson Wink to issue an apology because being disrespectful to fighters is bad for the sport? Like, it's like, what are you saying here? So, I mean, I understand both sides, but at the same time, I don't think this guy should be fired if it's his first offense. And also, I kind of wish Cyborg would have at least denied his claims in his apology. His apology was very elaborate, and he made some pretty bold claims about what he overheard Cyborg saying. So for her to completely, you know, ignore that fact in the apology just kind of made me go, is there any truth to that? But with that being said, it is what it is. I've said enough on this video, man. Let the full-time family know what the fuck you tell me in the comments. I'm out.
Da 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 da! It's the motherfucking DOG.